Hey guys, what's up? I am Nikhil from 𝗕𝗲𝘀𝘁𝘁 and welcome to this brand new After Effects tutorial. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to create a very dynamic particles logo reveal animation inside of After Effects, and that too without using any third-party plugin. It's a super fun effect, very easy to create and looks very cool. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into After Effects and get started. Alright guys, so here we are in After Effects. Let's start by creating a new composition. I'll call this render as our main render comp. Let's set this to 2560 by 1440, that is 2K. You can of course go with 1920 by 1080 or 4K if you wish to. Let's press OK and let's create another new composition. This is going to be our logo placeholder. So let's call this logo here, and for the width and height I'll set this to 2000 by 2000 and press OK. And then I'll create another new composition. This is going to be our reflection map, so let's call this ref map, and I'll set the width and height to 1204 by 1204. Press OK. Now in the logo here composition, I'm gonna add a logo that I have here, that is this one. You can of course use any logo that you want. And then in the reflection map, I'll add a reflection image that I have. So I'll just drag and drop it and place it like so. Select it and press P to bring down the position, create a keyframe. I'll go all the way up to maybe 5 seconds. And let's drag this like so. Maybe 5 is way too much. I think 4 should be fine. So we basically have a very simple movement right here. Now let's create another new composition. This is going to be our reflection animation. So let's call this ref animation with the same properties and press OK. Drag the reflection map and the logo here composition on the top. Let's press S and bring down the scale of the logo here to around 70%, should be good. And change the track matte of the reflection map to alpha matte. If you're using an older After Effects version, you can simply set it to alpha matte. And if you're using a newer version, just set this one to logo here. So now we have this nice track matte animation. I'll select the ref map composition, go into effects and presets and search for an effect called turbulent displace. Double click to apply that and increase the amount to around 200, should be good. So now we have a bit more displacement into our reflection. So this is going to be our reflection for the logo. Okay. In case if you don't like the way it's looking, you can anytime play with the evolution and it's going to change things up and make it look a bit more different like so. Really nice. Now let's go back into our main render composition. Press Ctrl Y to create a new solid, call this BG for background. And I'm going to keep it black, press OK. Then I'm going to drag in the logo here composition like so. Press S to bring down the scale property and scale this up by around 130, should be fine. Yeah, that's fine. Select it and then go into effects and presets and search for an effect called CC ball action. Double click to apply this. And this is a really interesting effect and we can do a number of different things using this. So first of all, let's start by animating the scatter. So I'll zoom into my timeline, I can hide this and let's go to around maybe 1 second and 20 frames. And let's set the scatter amount to 150, create a keyframe. Let's go to 4 seconds and set the scatter amount to 600. Now let's animate the twist angle. So I'll go to around 10 frames and set the twist angle to plus 190. We can press U so we can see the keyframes. Make sure you create a keyframe on the twist angle and then press U. Then I'll go to 2 second and 15 frames and bring down the twist angle to 0. Now let's go to 1 second and set the ball size to 12 and create a keyframe. Go to 2 seconds and set this to 20. We can again select it and press U so we can see all the keyframes. And finally, we will animate the instability state. Let's go to 1 second and 15 frames, create a keyframe on the instability state, and then go all the way up to 4 seconds and set this to plus 35. So now I can select this layer again and press U so we can see all the different keyframes. Now I'm going to select the scatter and the twist angle keyframes and press F9 to ease them. Then go into graph editor, right click and make sure you're working in the edit speed graph. Select this point and drag this handle holding shift like so. Select this point and drag the handle like so holding shift. And now when we preview the animation, we have something like this, which looks really interesting. Some nice particles bursting out. And then I'll go to around maybe 3 seconds, I think. Select the layer, press T to bring down the opacity, create a keyframe, go to 4 seconds and set this to 0. So now we have our particles animating out. Okay, so this is looking very cool. Now let's duplicate this layer, press Ctrl D to duplicate it and delete the CC ball action, and I'm going to add that again. Let's place the time indicator at the very start and set the scatter amount to 30. Create a keyframe right here. Set the ball size to 1 and make sure you create a keyframe. Create a keyframe on the instability size as well, and let's set this to -30. Then I can simply select the layer and press U so we can see the keyframes. I'll go to 2 second and 15 frames. Set the scatter value to 0. Create a keyframe on twist angle at 0. I can select this again, press U. And let's go to around 10 frames and set the twist angle to +190. Then let's go to 1 second. Set the ball size to around 24. Go to 2 seconds. Set the ball size to 28, a bit bigger. And then at around, let's say, right here, maybe 2 second, 10 frames, I'll set this to 60. So now we have something like this. Okay, so now if I preview this, we have something which looks like this. Now we need to match the complete animation. Also for the opacity keyframe, I'll drag this keyframe to around 1 second and 15 frames, or maybe 2 seconds is fine. So we have something like this. Okay, so this is fine. Now let's select the keyframes of the scatter and twist angle holding Control and press F9 to ease them. Go into the graph editor and make sure again you're working in the edit speed graph. Select the twist angle keyframes and drag the handle to the right like so. So now if I preview this, we have something like this. Okay, so that is looking nice. Okay. Now let's right click and create a new camera. We can select the 28mm preset and make sure the type is set to one node camera. You can simply go ahead and change it here and press OK. Let's select the camera, press P to bring down the position, and let's go at the very start. Let's zoom in quite a lot, maybe somewhere around there. Okay, and let's create a position keyframe. Then I'll go to 1 second and 15 frames and bring this down to -1200. So now if I preview this, we have something like this, which looks nice. Then go to 3 seconds and set this to -4000. So now we have something like this. Now it looks very linear, so we need to make it a bit more interesting in terms of the camera movement. And this can get a bit tricky, but do not worry. Let's do it step by step. So I'll select the position keyframes and press F9 to ease them. Go into the graph. So now we have something like that. Let's move this point to around 1000, like so. And then move these 2 points to around 2000. Just like so. And maybe I'll adjust this a little bit. I think it's way too fast, maybe something like that. Select this point and drag it like so. And now if I preview this, we should have a much more interesting animation. Okay, so we have bursting perfectly on time. Yeah, as you can see, the motion speeds up here, which looks really interesting. Yeah, perfect. Now let's go back into our project panel and drag the logo here composition like so. Let's go to around maybe 2 second and 15 frames. Drag this like so. And we can turn this into a 3D layer, and then let's press P and try to match it with the position of our logo like so. Okay, so that is looking quite nice. Yep, that matches perfectly. Now let's go into effects and presets and add an effect called 𝗕𝗂𝘁𝘁. Double click to apply that. Set the border softness to around maybe something like 45%. And I'll go at the very start. Set this to 100%. Create a keyframe. Go maybe somewhere around 3 seconds and set this to 0. So now we have something like that, but I think they should start a bit more ahead of time. So somewhere around there should be good. So now we have something like this. And we can actually increase the keyframe timing a little bit. So it looks like it's building up from the keyframes. Okay, so that is looking much better, I think. And finally, ease them. Now let's duplicate this, press Ctrl D, and then we have the ref animation. I'll hold Alt and replace this composition with the ref animation. Press P to bring down the position, and let's actually place it right over here like so on the top. And yep, that is looking much better. And I can go into effects and preset and delete the CC wipe. So now we have something like that. Let's bring down the opacity of this to around maybe somewhere around 50 should be good. Let's go to around 4 seconds and create an opacity keyframe. Go at the very start and set this down to 0. Now we have something like that. And around 7 seconds, I'll set this to 0 again. So now we have something like this. We have some nice reflection on our logo and it's looking quite nice, I think. And the reflection movement is ending right here. So I'll move the keyframe at around 6 seconds. And we can again select it and press F9 to ease them. So that is looking really nice, I think. We'll move this a bit forward in time at around 3 seconds. Okay, so that is looking nice. So now we can go ahead and polish our complete animation. First of all, let's add some glows to this. So right click and create a new adjustment layer called this glow. And I'll place this right over here. Go into effects and presets and search for an effect called glow. Double click to apply that. Let's increase the glow radius to around 100. And also I'll increase the glow intensity to 1.5. Let's duplicate this, press Ctrl D. Let's increase the glow radius to 300 this time and bring down the glow intensity to 1. And also increase the glow threshold to 80%. So now we have this nice glowing particles, as you can see. Now, although we have a camera movement, but these particles are not actually 3D. So in order to add a fake motion blur to make them look much more realistic, I'll create another new adjustment layer, place it on the very top, and let's add a blur on this. That is a CC force motion blur. So I'll select this layer, go into effects and presets, search for a force motion blur, and be very careful tweaking the settings here because it can literally crash your After Effects project. So I'll go with around maybe 10 or 12, works perfectly fine, I think. Yep, that is looking fine. So now when we preview this, we have this really nice motion blur, as you can see. Now I think the reflection animation is looking quite white, quite lame here. So there are a few things that we can do. First of all, let's add a curves adjustment. Double click to apply that and let's increase this like so. Okay, so that is looking much nicer, I think. And then we can finally add some text as well. So let's say it's your company name. I'll align this and we can add a very simple text animation. So I'll go right here, select it, press P to bring down the position and create a keyframe, press T to bring down the opacity and create a keyframe, press U so we can see the keyframes. Go back and bring that down and set this to 0. Select the keyframe, press F9, go into the graph and let's move this like so. So we have a nice subtle text animation as well. So now let's quickly go ahead and preview our complete animation. Yep, I think this is looking very, very nice. I'll move this a bit more forward in time. Perfect. And finally, if you get any kind of color bendings on your glows, you can right click and create a new adjustment layer and call this noise and add some noise on this. So make sure you place it on the top. Also make sure you hold Alt and click on BPC. So by default, it should be on 8 BPC. So make sure you switch this to 16 BPC. This will help you to get rid of a little bit of color bendings and make the glows look much more natural. I'll add some noise on this pretty quick. Uncheck these two options and set this to 3%. And boom, there we have our particles logo animation inside of After Effects without using any third-party plugin. Now, as you saw, it took us around 20 minutes to create this complete animation. And if you run a business or an agency where you are in a need to create multiple different animations and design for multiple different clients, it can get a lot messy very quickly. This is where 𝗕𝗲𝘀 comes into place. 𝗕𝗲𝘀 is seriously the ultimate solution for all your design needs. What sets them apart from other platforms that uses freelancers is that they only team up with top-notch, super talented designers. This ensures that you will receive designs that are as mind-blowing as you see in the designer's portfolio. And guess what? If you are in a rush, 𝗕𝗲𝘀's got your back. They deliver project in just 1 to 2 days from start. No more waiting forever. There are no hidden fees involved. None of those sneaky surprises. Isn't that great? If you're a business or an agency in a need for a steady flow of designs such as ads, custom works, UI UX, etc., you can upgrade to their subscription model anytime you want. It's like having a designer on call. Check out 𝗕𝗲𝘀 Marketplace today and say goodbye to all those design headaches for good. Link in the description. So that is a wrap, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, make sure to leave a like and comment down below what you wish to see more on this channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at 𝗕𝗲𝘀𝘁. All the links are in the description below. With that said, I will see you guys in the next video. Till then, take care and always stay raw, stay creative. Peace out.